My name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is midday in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Remember, if you miss the live streams, you can watch the catch-up premiere streams on a Friday and Saturday at 2 PM Pacific time in the US, which is 9 AM in Australia or 10 PM if you are in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well. Smurfberry Barbecue, always good to see you, Smurf. How's things? Hope you're well. How's that tree coming? Anyone that doesn't know, jump on the Discord server and check out Smurfberry Barbecue's tree that he's modelling up and texturing up, because it's looking very cool. I hope you're well, Smurfberry. Remember, guys and girls, if you have any questions while I'm working, please feel free to pop into chat and ask me. If I can help, I'm happy to try. If you just want to pop in and say hello, then that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, then that's completely fine. Smurfberry is saying things are terrible. I keep getting distracted and haven't done anything today. You finished the tree on Sunday. Oh, my apologies then. Sunday, you probably told me yesterday in my mind. Well, I'm glad you finished the tree. Getting distracted, yeah, I know what that's like. So I'm about to get distracted myself here because, you know, work are constantly bombarding me when I'm streaming. They can't leave me alone. They seem to pick the time that I stream to start sending emails through to me. But that's why I don't give them access to my Discord or anything. At least via email I can ignore them and get back to them when I'm good and ready, not immediately. So shh, don't tell work about my Discord. They're probably watching. No, they're probably not. What are we doing? We are working on a model in 3D Studio Max. We're taking photogrammetry pieces and we're turning that into a different type of 3D model, sort of. Let's jump into Max and have a look. So if I go full screen here on my thing, we've created this rotunda. So you can see we've got bits and pieces that are photogrammetry that we're combining into a new type of model. We haven't textured it up yet, so don't think that the pink and the green and the red things are the way it's supposed to look. That's just to remind me that that's what needs to be textured still. And we still have to take the photogrammetry pieces into a paint program, probably Mari for these ones, and just tidy them up and make them look a little bit more interesting maybe. Let's see how we go. Smurfberry says, I'm resuming work on that blue and red mutant flower. I remember that. That was really pretty. Mutant flower from like a year and a half ago. I finished sculpting like 99% of it, and I already have the base mesh with UVs fairly well laid out, so half the work of remeshing a game res model is already done. Good. Yes, no, I do remember that flower and it was looking really cool. I'm glad you're going to be finishing that one off too. Yeah, and UVing, that's half the battle. UV mapping a model is the least favourite thing of mine to do in 3D. I love everything about 3D, but I have to say UV mapping, not my favourite thing to do. Really necessary, really important. It determines how good your model is going to be in the end, the textures anyway. So, yeah. Smurfberry says the main issue is that the base mesh is like 45,000 tries. So I've just a slight bit of triangle reduction to do. You're using Maya, aren't you? Does Maya have an optimization thingy built into it like Max does? Because Max has the Optimize and Pro Optimize modifier. I'd be surprised if Maya didn't. Now, you do use Maya, don't you, Smurfberry? Am I getting completely confused and completely losing my mind? I know all you guys use different 3D software. I thought it was Maya. You're going to tell me it's Max or something? I'm pretty sure it's Maya, isn't it? You use Maya, Smurfberry. Smurfberry says Maya does have something like that, but I don't typically use it. Oh, okay. How do you do your optimization? And are you doing it by hand? Retopologizing it? How are you doing it? Because just bear in mind too, and I've said this to you guys before, doing really nice clean quad retopology is great. But as soon as that goes into the game engine, it's going to be tried. It's going to be triangulated. So you've done hand retopology. Okay, yeah. I know a lot of you guys like to do it by hand. By doing it by hand is the best, most efficient way to do it. It's the most optimal way to do it. Not the most efficient. But automatic tools will do it faster, but it's the most optimal way to do it. But do keep in mind, like I said, if you're doing anything for a game, as soon as that game engine imports that model, it is going to turn it into triangles. So if you're game modeling, hey, have at it. If you like doing your topology by hand, making sure everything's nice quads, and that's fine. But the game will triangulate the mesh, because that's just the way rasterization engines work. Smurfberry says, I think a lot of the savings on the base mesh can be taken just from deleting redundant edge loops. Yeah, well, that's... Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's true. Cylinders with a lot of edge loops eat up so many tries. Yeah, that's true. For sure. But do remember though too, even though whatever the polygon count is in the 3D software while you're working in quads is going to be different when you import the model into the game engine, because it works in tries, so it generally ups the triangle count because you're breaking a quad into 2 tries. You don't want to get bogged down in all that too much anyway. I mean, today's game engines can handle a lot of polygons. Today's graphics cards are really powerful compared to, you know, the old Xbox or Xbox 360 days. Everything now is pretty powerful. Be right back, no problem. You never count quads or all tries, okay. Good to hear then. Just let me work out what's going on over here. My apologies for being a little distracted here, guys. I will be back in 2 seconds. Okay. So we are planning on, we're still detailing out the model before we take it into Mari to do the texture painting, and we're also going to take it into Substance Painter to do a base texture. So my workflow will probably be take the pieces that are untextured into Substance Painter initially to do a base texture on, and then we'll take that texture into Mari to do a paint over. I think that's probably the best way to go. Alright, so yesterday we were working on the railing here for these round pieces on the rotunda. So let's just finish these railing sections off. We need to cap this end off a little bit. I don't really like the way the rail just sort of ends like that. So I'm probably going to just place nothing amazing. It's just going to be a rectangle, a smooth rectangle on the ends, just to cap those railing pieces off a bit, not have them sort of end in space like that. I think that'll be the best way to go. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just grab a box and let me It has created a huge box for me. I don't want that. Why did it do that? Let's try that again. Oh, I know why, I think. No? Let's work in our 3 viewports just to be on the safe side. Let's try that again. Let's create a box. I can always adjust the size after the fact. Let's move that near our rail. I'm in my local, I'm going to go into the viewport view for the axes as well. That'll make it easier for me. Okay, let's make some adjustments because it's way too big. The length, we'll bring that right in. I just want this as like a capping piece on the end of that railing. And let's pull back on the height because it's a bit too tall. What are they talking about now over here? Yes, let's pull back on the height, it's a bit too tall. Okay, and let's move it over. Now I don't want it to go all the way down to the ground here, I just want it between the two blue pieces really. I do want it to sit up a little bit above that blue end piece though. Okay, let's rotate it. And we'll move it over. Let's change the width as well, we'll make it a bit bigger. Might make it a little bit more narrow. Maybe not, maybe we'll make it a little bit thicker. Okay, let's throw down the chamfer so we've got a nice smooth edge on it. And I'm just going to change the color just because I can. Just so we know, I know when I come to texture this up that has to be part of the same texture that I'm using on the rail. In fact, let's make it a little more interesting. I'm just going to solo it out. And we're just going to add a little bit more detailing to it. So I think the easiest way for me to do that will be to copy it. We'll jump back to the bottom modifier so we can make some adjustments. Let's move it down. Okay, let's jump back up to the chamfer and copy that up to the top as well. And just trying to come up with a design idea that I might like to create. Let's create another copy. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. Jump back to the chamfer modifier. Let's move that one down. Move this one up a little bit. And let's copy this one up to the top. You're back? Good to see, Snowberry. Again, my apologies for being a little bit distracted, guys and girls. You know how much work love to annoy me when I'm streaming. Because they pay the bills, I can't afford to ignore them. Okay, let's move those down a little bit. Which just makes that end piece a little bit more interesting for our railing. All right, let us just attach all these pieces together. I'm not going to collapse the stack here in case I do want to make any adjustments. So I'll throw an edit poly down, and that way I can always, if I want to change anything, I can come back to it. Okay. And now we need to copy it to the other side. Let's do that. I'm going to change my axis view here to local, I think. Let's move it over. And that just helps to tidy up those end pieces for our railing, so that's cool. All right. And we'll just copy that around. I'll copy this entire section to the other two spots, the other two stairs, once we've got one completed. Okay, so the railing's done. Okay, the next thing is we need to put columns in these corners where the smaller terrace joins the larger one. So let's do that. And I want to copy this large column to keep consistency in the look. It'll help too because we can reuse like that decorative piece that we have on the rotunda and to help tie everything together a bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up this group and select the column. Just want to make sure I have everything selected. And I'm going to group those pieces together so that I can copy them. If I try and do a copy like a shift and drag copy now, I run the risk of some pieces flying off from the model because the axes are all different. But if I group them, okay, it wants me to close the group. Let's see. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. It looks like we were lucky. Lucky. Let's isolate that so I'm not distracted. Alright, so I want to reuse this. I want to use this as a smaller column. At the moment it's way too big. We can't use it the size it is. One option for me is to actually scale it back. But if I scale it back, I'll show you what we're going to start running into problems with the brickwork being the wrong size. So let's just unhide that. Let me move it into where we want it, and then I'll scale it back and we'll see the problem we're going to have. I'm actually going to make another copy of this too, because I need 2 copies. I do want one scaled because I want to use one to determine how high I want the column. So, too big. So we think, okay, we'll scale it back. So we scale it back to get it into the right size. But we start to run into this problem now where the stonework here is much larger than the stonework here. And they really should all be the same size. When they made the rotunda, they wouldn't have used a different size stone for the smaller column here. They would have used the same stone. So we can't just scale it back like that. We need to do something else. We don't want this statue here either. We're only using this to gauge how tall we want the column at this stage. So I'm just going to pull back and have a look. It's probably not too bad. That size is probably okay. So that's the size we need. Let's move the let's move it out now. So somehow we need to make this large one that size without scaling it. Cylinder columns with bird baths on top. Yeah, that would be nice. Bird baths are always really nice, but I'm going to put like a decorative stone. It's not an urn because there is no opening in the top. We'll just call it a decorative stone piece on top. That's what I'm going to use. Burning pyres to our great Lord Satan. Well, it is called the Temple of the Winds. The actual rotunda here is actually called the Temple of the Winds. So something where you could burn fire would look cool. It would look cool. But we're probably not going to do that. We can make those decisions once we get the column sized anyway. So yeah, that's the size we need. But we don't want our brickwork to be scaled back like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one and we're going to alter it a little bit. So first things first, we need to get rid of the this statue at the front because we don't want the statue there. It's just going to be too much. Statues here and statues here, it's just going to be way too much. Too much! So we don't want the statue. So I'm going to open up the group. Actually, I'm going to ungroup this. I'm going to start by deleting that front one there. Okay, so now we need to... We'll work with the height first and then we'll worry about scale of the top piece. So let's get into a viewport where I can see both of these. Select those, go into isolation mode. There we go. All right. Okay, that's the size we need. That's the size we have. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to move this down so the top here is matching the top here. Stop that. Let's just go into view mode. There we go. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm just doing it by eye at this stage, but there we go. I just need it about the same size. So that's the height. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the bottom off of this column. And it looks like that line there matches nicely pretty much to that line through there. So I'm going to quick slice, but before I do that, it looks like our columns are rotated around a little bit and my quick slice might not work on a straight line if my column's a bit twisted. So I'm going to rotate our columns around so that they're facing the right direction. I'm just going to group it so everything stays together. Like that. This one doesn't really matter. I'm only using it for height, but I might as well do it while I'm here. All right. so let's select, ungroup it again, must remember to ungroup it. There we go. Select that piece. Now we'll do a quick slice through. I'm going to quick slice it a little bit deeper than I need it. That way, when it comes time for us to place it in the 3D environment, if we need to, we can bury it a little bit in the ground. Better to be a little bit too long than too short, so that the ground doesn't come up to the base of it. So I'm going to go a little bit lower than I probably need to. So we're going to go down to here. And then we should be able to select the bit we don't need. I'm being pretty careful here, but I don't really need to, because I can straighten this edge up once we're once we've deleted the top ones. But I may as well, because we made a nice clean cut line, we may as well use it. Let me undo that. Alright, let's just delete those faces because we don't need them. Okay, let's move on to the side. We'll jump down here for this one. And again, going to go down to about that line there, I think. So let's quick slice it through here. Let me change it from left to right, because I think we're looking at the right hand side. Yep. Just looking for my cut line. There it is. My cut line is up there. All right. Where is my cut line? There is my cut line. Okay, let's delete those faces. Let's go back to our left-hand view. Let's work with the last piece now, which will be on this side here. This view. A quick slice. And we're going to take it to this line here. Where is my cut line? My cut line is here. Okay, let's delete those faces. Alright, so now we've got the height correct. That's all well and good. The next thing though is the width. The width is too wide. We need to make it similar to this width here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slice it up. I want to do it evenly though because of this decorative piece we've got in the middle. So I'm going to just isolate this piece here. And we're going to quick slice it again, and I'm going to quick slice it just either side of these two decorative pieces here. Okay, let me get rid of quick slice. Let me find my edge. What are you doing to me? Let's change it to the right hand side. I think that's the problem. Maybe not. Let's remove everything up into our cut line. And this side. Now I only have to do this for one of these two sides because I'm just going to duplicate it again. The same at the back, I'm going to duplicate that for the front. I'm having a real problem. There we go. Okay, now we've selected the bit we want to keep, not the bit we want to remove, so I'm just going to do an invert on my selection and delete it. Okay. Now, just going to check to make sure that width is about the same, and that's about the same as that, so that's good. Let us duplicate it. We'll mirror it so it's facing in the right direction. Then just place it where the old one here is, about where the old one is. Now let's remove that one. Well, let's do the back now. This one's a little bit more tricky because this one has 3. So I think with this one, actually what I could do is I could take the sides, which is probably what I'm going to do. Instead of recutting this one, I'm going to take this one and duplicate it. Or will I? Yeah, I will. That's what I'm going to do. Let's just rotate it to 90 degrees. Now we can delete that one. One more copy. Okay. Now. No. Now we're going to move these in. Okay, I'm going to move these in as well. I'm just looking in my viewport over here to make sure they both line up. Let's move this one in. I'm just going to fix this piece here as well. This one was made for the stairs and it's too big, so I'm going to copy this one. Needs to be moved back. A bit at the back. I'm just going to isolate this. Everything else is getting in my way, so.
You mean the world to me. You're everything that I can see. You're everything that I can feel. You are my dreams. And you know we got
Just a bit of a gap there. I need to pull this one in. I think you need to go in a little bit more. Okay, let's shorten up our columns because they're way too long. Let me go back to my view. There we go. Just going to recenter my pivot. Stop that. There we go. In fact, I need to go higher, don't I? All right. Looks like this needs to come in. Which means this needs to come over. Again, let's recenter our pivot point. We have to fix that texture up there when we jump into Mari. We'll fix it there. Okay, lucky last two. And I would pick the one that's got the column in front of it, wouldn't I? Let's change from left to right. Last one. Okay. That's all good, but the top is looking really out of shape now, out of whack. This is way too big. This we can scale because this is not textured. So we can probably just get away with doing a general scale. And start by grouping it to make sure it all stays together first. I'm going to non-uniformly scale this one as well because the sides are a bit bigger than the front. Okay, let's ungroup it. Let's group all of this together. I'm just going to call this one short column. Short pillar actually is probably a better term. And let's jump out of isolation view. Okay. So let's remove this, we don't need that one anymore. And let's move this one over into the corner. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to work with the stair, this one up here, which is the straight one. The other two are on a bit of an angle, so for now we'll work with the stair around here. Okay. Now the whole point of this was to cover the corners where the joins meet with the railing, so we have to intersect the column part way through with the rail.
I've made my mistakes, hoping I won't get caught.
It looks like we might need to remove one of those wrought iron rail pieces, or a few of them actually, because well, that's why we designed the wrought iron here, the decorative stuff to be further out from the corner, because I knew that the column was going to cover up a lot of them. So, and on these three-piece rail sections, it looks like there's 4 rails we can remove. Just going to lift it up so it's just sitting a bit low. We can also maybe do what we did here and lift those bottom pieces up so they sit a little bit higher, not down here, not level with the base. But we'll do that after the fact. Let me just position the other one first. Let's duplicate it to the other side. Oh, wow. Yeah, same thing. We have to remove those wrought iron rails from the side of the column. Sorry, I'm sorry, Smurfer. I'm so caught up with what I'm doing. Sexy saxophone. My apologies, Smurfer. I'm so sorry. Not on purpose. Your sexy saxophone. You go with that sexy saxophone. I'm just trying to work out how far out I want these columns to be. And it's distracting me. So probably there. Which means this one needs to come out a little bit, but that's okay. Alrighty, so we managed to keep the same decoration to sort of tie everything together. We kept the same size for the brickwork, so that looks right. Sniper Echo, good to see you, Sniper. How are you? So the other thing I'm going to do now, I think, is move those column pieces up. So I'm just going to open the group. Let's lift these up. How's things, Sniper Echo? You good? Wow. Yeah, how am I going to do this? I'm going to... Not sure. You good? That's good. Yeah, no, I'm well. Thanks, Sniper Echo. Thanks for asking. Yep, no, I'm all good. It's all good. Work won't leave me alone. They love to send me stuff through when I start my stream. I don't know why. Seems to be as soon as I start my stream, work think, right, let's send him all this email that he must, with urgent attached to it. Anyway, what's going on here? Just checking Discord. I like the little spaceships that Beck created in Discord. They look cool. These column pieces, I'm going to remove them. I'm just going to have the column hit the floor. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, no. Yes, no. I think what I might do is we might just duplicate that piece, I think, just to sort of cap the column at the base here a little bit better. Just to tidy it up a little bit. We'll do the same for this one. And let's do the same for the one over here, but let me close my group first. Let's get out a sub-object. There we go, thank you. Yeah, let's do this one as well. So let's open up our group. Let's remove these two pieces here that are completely hidden inside of our geometry. Actually, this looks like this column might need to come over just a little bit. There we go. Duplicate you. And you. Okay. close the group up. And now I'm just going to remove some of the rails that are hidden inside of the column. So we can get rid of that one. We can get rid of all of them up until here, I think. Yeah. Let's do the same on this side. So we want to remove them all from here over. These ones I think are okay. We probably do have a couple inside, but they're not being seen, so that's fine. Actually, no, it looks like they finished just before the column, which is good. Yep, good. Let's close the group. The other thing is, looks like a little bit of the base here is sticking out, so let's fix that. I could just do a slice through there, but I think I want to clean it up a little better than that, so I'm going to go into isolation mode, and we'll make a selection up to about here. Let me double check that. I think that should be fine. Let's delete those and let's cap it. Good. Let's have a look at this one. Yep, this one's the same, just a little bit sticking out. Did that one grow? I want cap. There we go. Good. Alright. Let's copy these around to the... We can either copy the entire group or we can just copy the column. Let's just copy the columns. Smurfberry says, did Phil say Kappa? I love all those emotes, Smurf. I love it. What's that panda one? The purple one. That's really cute. Who did that? I really like that emote. Hammer Kappa. That's cute. I'm a sucker for anything cute. Okay. Yeah, let's just copy these columns around to the other steps. I think that'll be easier. So we want one here. No, I have to decide. No, I was going to say I have to decide if I want to rotate that column to match the terrace. You see that this column sort of matches that terrace. This column being straight this way doesn't match that terrace, but it might look better, I think. We could rotate it a little bit. Let's copy one more and we'll decide. So let's put one here. And let's jump into the viewport and have a look. Yeah, so keeping it straight doesn't really match this terrace here because this terrace is on a bit of an angle, as you can see up here. So I think for these columns, for the for the 3-step terraces. It's going to be better if we rotate them a little bit. She's an artist. Yeah, it's a great emote. I love it. It's so cute. I've got angle snap turned on. So that they face the same direction as the terrace. Just looks better, I think. Okay, let's line them up. Oh, okay. I need to rotate it so that those two face inside. So let's do that. I'm thinking, what's going on here? That's better. I'm going to go with my local viewport axes here. It's just easier for me to move it around. Oh, I love that one too. That's really good. Booty. They're great emotes. Very, very nicely done. Let's rotate this one around. Move it out a little bit. I just need to fix. Do I? No, they're okay. Cool. Alright, let's copy these so that we've got one more left over here. Just before I do that though, I'm going to check the railings, see if there are any rail sections sticking through. No, that one looks okay. Now we do have some rail pieces here inside of the column, but because they're not being seen, I think we can leave them there. We could remove them. We might remove them. It's adding polys that are unnecessary, really. Just increasing the poly count for no reason if we leave them there. So let's not. Let's remove them. So we'll remove them all from there. And all up to there. Make sure I don't grab any at the back here. That would be bad. Okay, good. We've removed those polys. That's fine. Okay, last two columns for the other step. Chat seems very quiet today. Where is everyone? Where is everybody? I am live, aren't I? I'm streaming. Wasn't for you guys, the Smurfer and Sniper Echo, I wouldn't know if anyone was here. Let's copy the column. Now let us rotate it. They're all in space, Smurfberry says. Yeah, they must be. Is there some important thing on TV that I'm forgetting about in the US at the moment? It's not Trump's State of the Union address, is it? Is he doing his State of the Union thing? Isn't that happening today? Thanks for the host, Smurfberry. Yeah, is Donald Trump doing his State of the Union? I think he might be. I seem to remember them talking about it on the news here this morning before I started streaming, something about Trump doing a State of the Union address. Maybe they're all watching Mr. Trump. Why? Why would you be watching Mr. Trump? Over me. Come on. Let's rotate this 180 degrees. Always do that. Stop deselecting stuff. There we go. Smurfberry says, yeah, that happened, don't know, like an hour ago or something. Oh, okay. Haven't watched it. Okay. So that can't be the reason they're not watching me, if it happened already. They just don't want to watch me. Okay, I'm going to have to make some adjustments to the rail there. It's sticking through on the other side. But let's do this sort of stuff first. Okay, let me fix the rail. Smurfberry says, I think Chinese Lunar New Year would be a bigger pull. Yeah, probably right. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm just going to jump into isolation mode here, I think. And I'm going to delete those and recap it. Okay, let's fix that. What about the one over here? Yes, this one needs to be done too. So did he talk about wanting to build his wall? You didn't watch it, did you, Smurfberry? I was just wondering whether Mr. Trump was talking about his wall during his State of the Union again. He loves that wall. He wants that wall. Let's delete those. And cap it. Okay, now we need to fix the wrought iron going through our column. Smurfberry says, I don't think you'd even need to watch it to know what he probably did. No, I think you're exactly, I think you're right. I think I have a pretty good idea of what Mr. Trump said. We need a wall, a big, beautiful wall. I can't do his accent. Let's remove those. Okay. Now let's check the others to see if we're going through it or not. Yeah, again, this one, even though we can't see them, they're hidden. I'll remove them because they're just adding to the poly count for no good reason. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this one's right on the borderline. So we'll leave that one there. It matches up over here. They're right, very close to the edge of the column. Smoker says, now I've been watching Twitch and fiddling with this plant and getting distracted and pulled away from my computer. That's the last 1% that I mentioned earlier that I haven't sculpted yet, and some secondary roots to try and give it some support, some supporting details at a different scale from most of the rest of the model. Roots always look good. I love modelling up roots and adding them to trees and stuff. You remember the terrace, the Baroque terrace, when I did the environment, I had those big trees either side and I put all of the roots that sort of had popped out of the ground and were around the base of the tree in between the path. I love adding roots. They always look really cool. So add them roots. Just turn that off. I'm just double checking that none of our ironwork is inside of our column. FS Bolt, it's good to see you, FS Bolt. How are you? Snappery says, I'm not very happy with what I've had with the roots because I've been trying to match the style of the big roots in a smaller package. It's good to see you, FS Bolt. Yeah, that can be a problem. If you try and shrink stuff down to keep the same look and style. Yep. Okay, I think we're okay. I don't think we've got anything going through the columns. All right. I'm just going to move some of these bits and pieces out of the way because they're a bit distracting. These are just the pieces we use to make everything. Let's just move them all up here near our circles, near our splines. There we go. Alright, now I think lions up here would look really cool. I want to try and incorporate the lions we have in the statues here, so I think some lion statues up here might look cool. Smoker says, I think I might have finally hit upon a solution in the last hour. Well, that's good to hear. Lions, yes. Let's add some lion statues. Now, you'll be happy to know I've already made them. I'm just going to unhide them. You see, I did it ahead of time. Let me just make a selection so we've got something to zoom around on. So yeah, I think having lines up here just to help to tie in the lines we have down here, because these columns really needed something. They were looking a little bare. So some lion statues up there I think will look cool. Just going to turn around so we don't see those in the background. They're a bit distracting. So yeah, some lion statues. We have to texture them up, of course. They're still just plain white, but we will texture them up. Okay, so I've got that. One thing I thought about bringing these lower terraces forward. and adding another step up here. I just don't know if it's going to be too much. Like I thought about having another step, half a step here. So you go up the steps here, you have the lower terrace, you have like another step through here, and then you go up onto here. I just thought it might make this entry look a bit more interesting. It's easy enough for us to look at anyway. All it is a cylinder. So let's just do it. Let's do it and have a look, and if we don't like it, we remove it. So it's just a cylinder about that big. Let's make it nice and smooth, so 128 sides. Bring it up. Pull it in. Let's non-uniformly scale it so it fits a little bit better. Yeah, I was just playing with the idea of having another step up before we got to the main terrace. Yeah, it might look interesting too if anyone does any sort of renders from above. You've got more interesting geometry going on. It doesn't need it. It's unnecessary, another unnecessary step, but it just helps to, I think, add to the to the look of it. Makes it look a bit more interesting. You're doing good? That's good. No, I'm doing really well, thanks, FS Vault. Yep, no, everything's good, apart from work constantly emailing me when I start streaming, but hey, I'm used to that. I'm good though. My apologies for missing your question a bit earlier, FS Vault. I get a bit caught up on what I'm doing and I ignore my chat. It's not good. This step is too high. It's not too high, but the actual model, the actual thing itself is too high. So I'm just going to lift it up and pull the height back until we got the height of the step that we want. Maybe something like that. I'm just trying to work out if I want to cut it too. Just going to isolate these two pieces. I think I will cut it. I'm just trying to work out how I want to cut it. I think I'm going to cut it, instead of cutting it on a half circle like to match the base terrace, I'm just going to do a cut straight across. I think that'll be easier. I think that'll be better. Again, we're just going to remove any polygons that aren't needed. Cut it from maybe there to there. And then we can remove that. And we'll cap it so it's looks nice and neat. There we go. Okay, let's copy that around to the other two terraces. One more. Go. I think these columns might be a bit too far in. They need to be brought out. Made a bit of an error when I was placing them, I think. There we go. I was wondering why this step wasn't fitting between the two columns like it did with the others, and it's because the columns were too close. Good. Okay, now we need something on top of these columns here. So again, I've got this this thing that I made, if I can find it. Where is it? Column deco, that's it there. This little decorative piece here. It's just like a stone decoration thing. I think that could look cool. I don't want anything too high. I don't want it to detract too much from the rotunda in the middle, but I think it just needed something. FS Bolt says, did you sculpt those pieces? No, this is actually photogrammetry. This is a photogrammetry object. I didn't sculpt that. So, photogrammetry. Let's rotate it around so it's sitting properly. In fact, I've got to decide. Actually, I want to rotate it around so it sits. That way. I want that fabric piece here on the urn to be on the outside. Let's make sure it's in the middle, or about the middle. Let's duplicate it, but because I want that fabric to be on the outside, I'm going to mirror it. And let's copy it around. Rotate it the other way. No, not like that. But I want the fabric to be on the outside, so again, let's mirror it. Last two.
As I travel through the mountains, walking through this wasteland, my eyes are fixed on the horizon, holding on to what I am.
Mirror it so the fabric is on the outside.
Through the darkness I descend. My eyes are fixed on the horizon, pushing onwards to the end.
And lucky last. Okay. Again, let's just get around here. All right. So, what do I need to add detailing through the sides of the terrace here. It's just looking a bit plain. Let's do a quick save because we don't want to lose what we've done. I might reduce the size of the lines up here as well, but we'll wait a little bit. I'll wait till I get things textured up a little bit and then we'll look at the size of these lines if they're too big. But yeah, I want to do some detailing around the sides of the terrace, and what I want to do is I want to try and pick up the design of these pieces here on the columns. Similar design, not exact. So I think the first thing we're going to do is create that design. So I'm going to start by creating a box. Let me just have a look at the design. So I need a box, 3, and then a box. Okay. So we go into isolation mode. So a box, and then let me bring this one forward. There's a couple of different ways I can do this. I can either do an extrude or I can model it up. Just trying to work out what might be the best way to go. We might model it up. It's just simple modeling. It's just box modeling. So let's do a box here. Let's copy that over. And another one. And we want to copy this box down the bottom. Let's try and edit poly down and just adjust that back size. Oops. Actually think I might bring these in. I might bring these in as well. And these. Thankfully we did do a save before, in case Max decides to have a cut up. There we go. Okay. Let us chamfer these up so that we have a nice soft edge on them. Copy that. Paste it. Might increase the softness on these ones, I think. So let's go with 0.5. Okay, let's pull this down to cover up those tops. Just going to make these a little bit bigger. Might just pull back a little bit on the amount on the chamfer on this. It might be just a bit too high. 0.3. Let's just group all these together. And jump out of isolation mode. Scale it back. I think what I need to do here is this needs to be brought forward, and the lower one needs to be brought forward as well. So we're going to scale this one up a bit. And we'll scale this one up. Legmog, hey, it's good to see you, Legmog. How are you? What you up to? Might just scale it out a bit too. Legmog says day number 2 of going to the gym at 1 a.m. in the morning. He's just got back. Is it? You're going to the gym at 1 a.m. in the morning? Wow. You're dedicated. 1 a.m. in the morning and you're going to the gym. How are you feeling? Because you went yesterday too, didn't you? You saw? You were nice and empty at 1 a.m. Yeah, no, that's true. Legmog says today was arms day. I've got a feeling I'm not even going to be able to lift them tomorrow. But as Smurpery says, that is true. It's nice and empty at 1 a.m. in the morning. Size-wise. Legmog says, yeah, my sleeping pattern always has me up prating about on YouTube. Figured I'm going to be awake in the early hours. I may as well put my time to good use. Well, that's true. Exercise is always good. As long as you don't overdo it. You don't want to over-exercise. I'm just going to change the color of this to, just because I can and because I want to a blue, just to remind me that's all one piece. Okay, let's, why did I move my spline? I need it now. It was only this morning when I was setting up that I removed it. Moved it. Legmog says, so today, after over 10 years as a 3D artist, I finally figured out how rotation works. Oh, wow. You got there in the end. That's the important thing. You worked it out in the end, Legmog. Cooper Craft, thank you for the follow. I'm assuming you followed me. It's popped up in my Discord. I didn't see it on my stream though. So, Cooper Craft, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. You're funny, Legmog. 10 years to learn rotation. Nice. Let me just get my spline sort of where I want it. I'm going to isolate these pieces. It'll make it much easier for me to see what I'm doing. Legmog says, my knowledge of rotation before was pretty much I'll select the rotate tool, then I rotate something, and that's it. But man, there's a freaking science on how computers calculate rotation in 3D space. True that. Let me just make sure my spline is actually lined up here. And let me move my little decorative piece to around about here. Okay, now this is a group, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to attach them all as one piece, so we want that one, the background and the bottom. Okay, let's go into our spacing tool. Legmog says, especially when it comes to animating, the amount of times I would want a simple rotation and the ruddy thing pivots massively to the side. It's kind of swaying in a kind of swaying motion instead of taking a more direct rotation. Yeah, I can understand how, particularly in animation, it could be a problem. Let's pick our path. make sure it follows our path. And let's up the number of copies. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to maybe just increase the size of my spline a little bit. I don't want them to be intersecting quite that much. It's not bad, but I think they're intersecting just a little bit too much. Legmog says, yeah, I finally discovered that the rotate tool you typically see with the green, red and blue rotation rings around your object, it's a lie. Well, it can all depend too on whether you're working your rotation in local space, world space with the parent. Yeah, that can all change depending on how you're working with your world space. Let's just increase the size of the spline just a little bit. Gonna jump into the top viewport. And max deselected my spline. I'm just going to increase it just a little bit. And I'm going to use the spinner down here because I've got more control when using the tool. Okay, let's do that again then. So, spacing tools. We're on follow mode. Let's pick our path. And that's better. Okay, now I've just got to work out how many I want. It's probably not too bad. Let's apply it, because we can always go back if we change our mind. I'm just going to select them all because I want them to be a bit lower. You see I'm in local axes mode. I'm going to go back to view so everything goes to the middle. It's easier for me to move stuff around. I'm just going to move that one out of the way. Legmog says, but unless you're a rigger animator, it doesn't matter that it's a lie? Oh, okay. I'm not a rigger nor an animator, so... I'm just going to group these so it's easy for me to move them around. Okay, now I want to move them up. I want them to be sitting just below that shelf, that edge there. Okay, let us isolate this. I'm just going to go into edge mode here for a minute. And let us select our edges. I'm just going to scale these in a little bit. Make sure I select all of my edges though. So are you doing private work at the moment, Legmog? Or are you doing work? You back at a studio? Just curious. How's your pilot episode coming along? How's that all going? Because anyone that doesn't know, Legmog's creating a pilot series. That was looking very cool. But I think he had to stop to do some studio work, so. I'm just going to scale this in a little bit. Not too much. Just a little bit. Legmog says they'll have me back in the studio on Thursday and Friday, but I said after that I won't be available till March. I need to set aside time for the pilot. Yes, you do. You put all that work into it. You want to make sure you do some work on it. Make sure you can afford to, though. Like, don't turn down work if you can't eat. But yeah, by all means, work on the pilot. FS Bolt says, how good do you need to be to get a foot in the industry? Just in general, maybe as a modeler or a character artist. How good do you need? Well, that's such an open-ended question, FS. Well, how good do you need to be? It will depend on the studio. You don't have to be amazing. I mean, they're going to try and hire the best person that they can find for the job. So the better you are, the more chance you have. For sure. I will never deny that, yeah, they're always going to try and hire the best person for the job, but you don't have to have, like, 10 years experience to get a job. People get work straight out of school, game school or something, if you want to do game stuff. I can't speak for a character artist job though, because I don't do character art. Legmog says I'll be doing national lottery stuff this time, doing my part to keep the poor downtrodden working class stomped further into the ground. You don't mean that, I'm sure. Poor working class. We're all poor working class. What's the national lottery? I've never heard of that. Is that some weird English thing? UK British thing? National lottery. Yeah, what is that? What is the national lottery? Is it jury duty or something? What is it? Explain. I'm curious. Okay. I think we just need a shelf down there, so I'm going to rob the... What am I going to do? Yeah, I don't know what National Lottery is. I don't know what it is. I'm going to grab a copy of one of these, I think. So, because we cut these ones up, I need a full one. No, I don't need a full one. No, I don't need a full one. What am I talking about? Legmark says it's kind of a huge government-funded game, which is kind of like gambling. You go to a store, buy... are you talking about like the lotto, where the numbers thing? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? You buy a ticket and pick 6 numbers from 1 to 49, then like every Saturday they have a draw. If you get 6 numbers, you win. No, I know what you're talking about. Yep. We call it lotto, I think, over here. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry. For some reason, I had in my head national service, jury duty. I don't know why. No, we do have lotto. I'm being blonde. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm just being my typical airhead-filled self today. Or maybe it's a private company doing it. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yep. Legmark says, yes, it's called the Lotto Hits now too. It used to be called the National Lottery. Okay. Yeah, we have that here too. We've got it in this country. So you're going to win big on the lotto, yeah? That's the plan. To win big on the lottery. Yeah, well, what do they say? You got to be in it to win it. Isn't that their slogan? Which is true. If you don't enter, you'll never win. Although I have to question just what your odds are. I don't know how good your odds are of winning. Legmark says at the start it was just the one game. Now there's like about 6 games plus a bajillion scratch cards. Yeah, we got the scratchy cards over here as well. State lottos, as Epis says. Yeah, I've noticed here in Australia they've been advertising. There's like a website you can go to where you can enter the lotto that's held in the US, even if you don't live in the US, which is weird. So if you want to enter the lotto in the United States, apparently there's this website that they advertise on television here anyway, where you can go to and you can enter the US lotto to see if you can win. Or people from other countries can do the Australian lotto. Smokeberry says, I put in like $10 or $20 when the Mega Millions hit, like 800 million or whatever, a year and a half ago. And Epispot is saying that can't be legal if you win. I wouldn't have thought so either, which surprised me to see these TV commercials for this website that you can register on to enter the lottos of other countries that you don't live in. I don't know how legal that is, but they advertise it. Legmug says, in the UK at least, I feel bad whenever I'm in the supermarket. The front kiosk is full of poor downtrodden folks lining up to buy a 20-pack of cigarettes and like 20 scratch cards to boot. Yeah. No, I don't see the appeal either. I have to admit, I don't gamble at all. I don't even put a bet on a Melbourne Cup when I go to the Melbourne Cup. So I'm one of those people that does no gambling at all. So I don't get it. I don't get it either. I don't understand the appeal of scratchies or slot machines or any sort of gambling. Poker, I don't understand the appeal of it. It doesn't appeal to me at all. Which I guess is good. It means I lose less money. But the same goes for the lottery. I don't do that either. I don't do the lotto. Eberswald says, yeah, I used to work at a grocery store and this kid only worked maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and he would always just throw all his paycheck right into the scratchies, the scratch-offs and the lotto. Yeah. And gambling can be a real problem. Now, the scratchies and the lotto, that's not really gambling. It's not what I consider gambling, but not like slot machines or roulette or any of that sort of stuff. That's proper gambling, poker. And it can be an addiction. Some people get completely addicted to it. They can't stop and they rack up huge debts and ruins their lives. So be careful if you're into gambling, everyone. It can become a bad addiction. So I know where you're coming from, FS Fault. People that just can't seem to help themselves, their whole pay goes on gambling. Even though I wouldn't really consider scratchies gambling, in a way they are, I guess. Smurfberry says, poker is at least a game of strategy, which is interesting. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that it's not an interesting game to play. I'm just saying that because it's so tied to gambling in general, it can be a dangerous game to play. Because people get addicted. I've seen it. The government in this country made the poker industry run ads on TV telling people how dangerous gambling addiction was. Like the poker industry didn't want to do it. The government made them. So we have these ads on TV saying, where they show someone who has a gambling addiction, how it destroyed their life. The typical sort of ads that the governments will run when they want to discourage you from doing something. But they made the poker industry pay for them. So it wasn't our tax dollars that paid for it. The poker industry had to pay for it. And FS Bolt says, I like playing poker in Red Dead Redemption. Well, I can't play Red Dead Redemption, unfortunately. They don't have a console, and they haven't brought it out on PC yet. Come on, Rockstar. I want to play Red Dead Redemption 2. Legmog says, I can just imagine some elite billionaire capitalist who looks like the Emperor of Star Wars being all, let us create the lottery. The poor plebs need to feel that they have hope to escape their pointless lives, and we will become richer than God off the back of the desperation. Yeah, well, you know your odds of winning that are so astronomically low. My advice to people, if they do the lotto every week, or yeah, I don't know how often the lotto is run. Let's say it's done every week. Is spend that $20 that you're going to put on the lotto ticket, put it in a bank account, and you'll be surprised how much money you have after a year. You're not going to have $10 million, $100 million, but you're going to have a whack of change you could do something good with, useful with, if you just bank that $10 or $20 every week instead of spending it on a lotto ticket. Then you're guaranteed to have something after a year, as opposed to, maybe winning the lottery, which is very unlikely. Smurfberry says, what they like to do is say it's a good thing because the taxes on the lotto will go to fund schools, but it's frequently not actually allocated that way, the way they say it is. No, not in this country. They don't say that. They don't even try to say that, Smurfer, in this country. When they run the lotto, they don't say, oh no, so much of it goes to schools, or no. Nope. The lottery here is run by a company. It's not run by any organisation that wants to give anything back to the community. And you've got to pay tax on it as well, even if you do win. And the tax is huge. In this country anyway, if you win like the lotto, tax is massive. Unseen NRG, thank you for following the channel. I do appreciate it. So thank you, Unseen, for following me. Remember, guys and girls, too, to join the Discord server, particularly if you're not a sub, because you can post links in Discord to any of your work. So remember, join the Discord server. I'll pop the link in chat right now. You can just click that and that will give you an invite link to join the Discord server. Everyone's very friendly, very helpful. Gallery section for you to show off your work. Anyone, if you've got any problems, you can post in Discord. Snowberry says, like it will go into the state's general fund rather than the one earmarked specifically for education. Yeah, that's the same here, Sniper says. Leglock says, yeah, I'll probably end up going into purchasing a $6 million missile to blow up some building in Aleppo. Come on, let's not get political here, guys. Just wondering whether I should pull that terrace in a little bit more. Snowberry says, I totally pay a 50% plus tax on several $100 million. Yeah, well, it is close to that here. They do. The government take a huge whack of it in tax. FS Bolt says, if you won 300 million, they would probably take 100 million. Yep. Snowberry says, you're already set for life if you take home even a few million after tax. Well, that's true. A couple of $1 million is nothing to sneeze at. I certainly wouldn't say no to a couple of $1 million. No, you could do quite nicely with a couple of mil. I'm just thinking I may pull the bottom of this terrace in a little bit more. Nope. Probably doesn't need to be pulled in anymore, but it might look interesting. Or not. Let me work out why you're not looping properly. Okay. So I might just scale it in just a little bit more. Just want to make sure that the ones in the middle are not selected. Paz, it's good to see you, Paz. How are you? Paz is here. Paz has arrived. It's good to see you. How are you? Did you have a good night, day, whatever time it is, wherever you are? You're catching me at the end of my stream, actually. I'm finishing up now. I don't think we'll pull it in anymore. I think it's probably enough. I pulled it in a tiny bit more, but I don't think it needs anything more than that. Let us just pull back and make a quick save because we don't want to lose the work we've done. Just going to close up my groups. Nice progress. Thanks, Paz. We're getting there. We are getting there, slowly but surely. So I think what I need to do is when we come back on Monday next week, I'll just add some of this decorative work to this terrace, and we'll pull the underside of that terrace in like we did this one. I just want to add a bit of wrought iron work to around the centre of these columns, just to help to bring the wrought iron into the column a little bit. I think that would look interesting. The decorative part of the wrought iron, this bit here. So we'll look at doing that on Monday next week when I come back. And after that, I think we can start taking it into Substance Painter and Mari. We can start texturing some of these bits and pieces up. Oh, the steps. I was going to do those today, but we'll leave those till Monday. I just want to take that into ZBrush and just make it look a little less perfect. Give it a little bit of damage here and there, because it's an old step. But we'll do all of that on Monday. Let's make sure we do a quick save. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I do want to thank you guys, though, very much for hanging out with me and for watching and being here. It was good to see you, Paz. Good to see all you guys and girls. I will be back again on Monday. We'll pick up where we left off here, and we will just finish off the few bits and pieces that are left to do the modelling. And then we're going to start texturing. And after we finish the texturing, we're going to create a 3D environment in Eon View and do some beauty render. You too, adios Legmog. You can go get a lotto ticket. I'm not going to get a lotto ticket. You go get your lotto ticket, Legmog. I'm not getting a lotto ticket. I told you. Be off with you. Get your own lotto ticket. Go on. I don't buy lotto tickets. But it was good to see all you guys. Thanks again for hanging out and watching. I will hopefully see you guys on Monday next week. You guys and girls have a great weekend. See you guys.